Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I was nice and busy. I'm sure everybody's always busy on the weekend. They just fly by. So let's get rolling and see what's going on because crypto is going crazy. I was up a long time last night trading crypto. You guys can look out at TRB Teller. Oh man, that thing went through the roof. Me and my buddy were looking at it yesterday, and just look at what that did overnight. It just went absolutely nuts. We'll look at it when we go through crypto, but it went crazy, and a whole lot of other ones are going nuts. I mean, Bitcoin's at like 80,000 plus, and we'll get rolling through them all. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And here we go. The market had closed. The big caps or Mag 7 were kind of red as we closed on Friday. So we're going to look at everything and see how we're going to open up, go through our list, see what we're looking at. And there's going to be tons of poppers and cryptos going insane. So let's get rolling here. GFAI. Let's see what that's up to, that guard force, because it was up 3 cents and setting up to be really, really nice. I know we were looking at it last week. It was on the list a few days, and we found that bottom November 6th, right around $1. It's sitting at about $1.13, getting through the 20, hitting up to the 50. And I was saying before, I remember, I guess about a week ago, that it was looking interesting because all three lines were going to meet up together, and they are. And I'm talking about like the hard line, the 50 and the 20 are all just coming down together on each other. And it is crossing through. And I'm telling you, these charts are looking much better to start running uh efficiently like they should. And we haven't seen that look in a long time, I promise you. So yeah, this one's curling up and looking good. We'll watch it tomorrow, but I think it gets up there and it gets over that 20, which is at 117. It hits that 117. It's blasting off. So look for it to get past that 117 area, and it's going to get moving right there. So GFAI, take a look at it. And if you like it in the morning, we'll take a look at that one in the morning as well. But that one is definitely setting up right there. And like I said, it should get crossed. It did cross through there and it kind of pulled back in the after hours a little bit, but nothing crazy. It just did. It's back to what 108. It closed around like 113, and the Finviz has it at 112, but you know they don't keep it all the way there. But it looks like it's going to fly through tomorrow, and they kind of gave you that look already with Finviz telling you it was. It's kind of it almost says, "Hey, we're already going through." How about that DXYZ that we looked at and we were saying that thing was in the top and you had to be careful, but it was a momentum play. It had a weird look. Well, it sure was a momentum play. It went up like over $17. It went nutty the other day. Opened at 25.20 and went up to at least 42. Let me see what mine says because it started running in the after hours. Yeah, 42.77. So that thing started moving, and we were talking about that SpaceX, or they own a piece of SpaceX, so it's basically the only way to get into SpaceX. I guess everybody heard it when we said it on the show because it went nuts. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's way at the top, so obviously these things could run up there, but we have to watch for it to kind of pull back or see what it wants to do at least in the morning. If you didn't get into it on Friday when we were talking about it Thursday night, so that was DXYZ. And again, it's an ETF, but it went crazy right there. And that's a nice one. S dot SDOT. We've been looking at this, saying it one and another one just curling up beautifully. And it was up like 71 cents and kept that momentum. It opened at 328 and went up to about 381 there. SDOT. And that one still looks like it wants to keep momentum. So I would watch that one in the morning, guys. It has some resistance up there at like 425. So we're sitting at about 377 in the after hours with SDOT. So just keep your eyes on that because it is looking good. And here we go. What else are we looking at? The yin and the yang. Let's look at them here. Let's look at our yin and our yang right here. Because I think actually, you know what I'm going to do first? Because I just before I hopped on, I noticed the news and it said stocks fall on China outlook and Bitcoin at record. So we know that. So I'm not sure if they're talking about the China stocks falling. And so let's look at the yin and the yang because we know that they did reverse for us on Friday. And yeah, the Yang, remember I was saying it looked really good. It wanted to cross through, but we know that look, I mean, it kind of gave us that old school look, but that 20 was coming down and it popped up. It tried to fake us out on Thursday there and jumped up there to $39 and then came right back down to about 32 on Friday, and this thing looks like it's going to plunge down. So that means the Yang must look good. And I'm just going to look and see what the yin did in the after hours. But yeah, it looks like it wants to still go down. We'll see. It does have some support right there to 50, but the 20 is just pushing it. So let's look at the Yang and see how it looks. That went up 10.23 and it jumped back up, but it was just kind of teetering around the 20 again. I think that one gets crazy on tomorrow and this week. It just has that look like it's about to blast off, and it may run up to the 91. Remember, it's split, so it's in the 70s right now, and it did pull back the other day to what that 59.20. So that was a nice dip and rip situation. Remember, we were talking about if it was going to bounce off of there, and it sure did. And it does look like it wants to get over that 20, which is at about 71 something, 25, 71, 25, right in that area. And it did get over it Friday. It got to 72. And I'm telling you, this thing could get moving the 50s all the way up at like 103 on it. So it could get cruising, guys. And so that's your yin and your yang report. And I know we've been watching them. So they do look like the yang does want to go up and the yin does want to go down right now. And we'll take a look at them in the morning. CDIO, that was down 3 cents. It had run up the other day. I remember what, Wednesday to 6, and it got up to about 52 cents and it just poked itself into the top. And then on Thursday, it ran up, but not as high. And it's been coming down. It kind of peaked its way out of the top now. So that one may be coming down. So CDIO could be pulling back. So just watch for that pullback right there. And maybe we'll see if it wants to bounce, but I'm not so sure. It does look like it wants to pull back. Although the 20 and the 50 are meeting up, I'd have to see this in the morning. It does look like it wants to pull back, but it could bounce up right there if it gets that momentum and just keeps it going. So I'll look at it in the morning and we'll see what it wants to do. And a lot of times these are hard to get that look over the weekend. So I often say I'll look at them in the morning, but I just marked it and we will take a quick look at a lot of these. WINT was down that 2 cents. And I think this one, I mean, it keeps having that dip and rip look, but it could have had it the other day on Friday. It got down from its high as 62 where it opened and it got down to 53 cents and then it closed at 58 and it does kind of look like that might have been a little bottom action, and we'll take a look at that in the morning and see. Our 20's still way up there at 77, but this one could pop out of the basement. It just pulled itself in, but it's still over it. It just gives you that mixed look like it does want to try to do something. So we'll see if it gets moving. We'll probably know in the next day or so if it does want to get moving. And I'll let you know about WINT the Lucid Group. Remember, this one caught my eye because it pulled back, and that bottom was on November 5th. You can see it at 202. It's at 221. They did have earnings. I don't know what they did with them. It's in the basement, but curling up. It just hit that basement, like the top of the basement, and didn't get out, but it's going to. And I think LCID is going to start moving. Yeah, I have a feeling this one's going to start bouncing up tomorrow. Keep your eye on that one, LCID, because that one looks like it wants to move. And I know I said it last week because I it caught my eye on the scanner. I do remember, and it is looking better. IOVA. That was down $1.69, and I had a crazy day on Friday. It opened at 10.67. It ran up to 10.80. I think didn't it go up a little higher in the pre-market? Yeah, it opened at like 11.35 and went up to 11.43. Came down to 9.32, so it had a nice dip and then went back up to 10.51, but it is pulling back there pretty good. So we'll have to see what it's going to do on the open tomorrow. It could easily bounce off that MACD. It's still pretty bullish up there. So, and it just kind of bounced right back up to the 20. So it's not looking terrible. And we will take a look at IOVA in the morning. I kind of feel like it wants to play that bounce up. We'll have to see though if it can keep that momentum. And it did go up about 6 cents, it said in the after hours. What, well, 10.51 after it closed at that 10 this says 10.65. Like I said, they're all over the place. So especially over the weekend, I have no idea. But IOVA, I think might have that little bounce. So we'll take a look and watch for that. And we'll watch for the bounce tomorrow on that one. OCGN. Let's look at that one because I had earnings. It was looking good. It ran up the other day. It passed $1. I remember to $1.13. Oh, it did on Friday and then pulled back all the way down to 95 and then closed at 98. And it does still look really good to get bouncing up again. So OCGN does not look bad. It did just run around, like I said. Oh, well, in this one, it says opened at 119, got up to 131. Its low was at 95 and it closed at 99. So it did run up to 131 at some point in the after hours. I think it was in the morning, if I remember correctly, in the pre-market. And Finviz just does not show that. So, but yeah, it did move up, and we'll have to see if it's trying to. I think it is still trying to set up. It might just bounce around a little bit and set up a little bit more, a little more time, and then get moving. So OCGN not looking bad either. LGHL is the Lion, I believe. Yeah, Lion Group. This was up like 3%. And this one, I'm telling you, this one crossed through really hard on Thursday. And I think this one's getting ready to get moving. So keep your eye on that Lion. I know we were looking at it last week, and we've been watching the Lion. And it opened at 20, got down to 19, and its high was 23, and it closed at 20. So it opened and closed just about the same price, but it does look good still. So I think the market conditions are obviously going to affect how most of these open. They always do after a weekend, especially after the election. I mean, it's just one of them coin flips because they had all that momentum. And remember, I was saying that be careful because we didn't want to catch them at the top. Why they were going to be pulling back. And I even said last week, this week could be a little bit of a pullback week. Why they set up because they're setting up. And I truly believe I was looking at a lot of charts this weekend, and I honestly think that the big money in the charts really didn't think the voting was going to go as smooth as it did. I really think it was going to pop up the next day. So not necessarily popping up on what was it, Wednesday when it did, it just went nuts. And then even more on Thursday. And then obviously Friday was the reaction. Looked like it wanted to pop up Friday or Thursday and then keep the momentum going into the weekend, to be honest with you. That's what every chart looks like. So laptop travel, I think, agrees. It kind of threw the timing off on them a little bit. It's not a big deal, but I say, you got to kind of let the dust settle and just be careful with them. But they're just, you just want to find them best prices and bottoms, and they're going to be running. I think it just caught them off guard, and they just shot up like crazy. I mean, look what Tesla did, and a bunch of them. They went nuts, and it was obviously a reaction. We talked about it, and so we'll dissect the market as usual and know exactly what they're doing. But I can kind of tell with this one as well. You can kind of see it and a lot of them. So it's hard to get that gauge if they do want to run up more on Monday, tomorrow when they open, or Tuesday, or what they want to do. But we'll go through them and pick out the best setups and know what to look for in the morning. and then we'll just attack it from there. So IXHL, this was up 35 cents, and I think this is running up in the morning, guys. Well, from Friday, what it looked like, it still wants to. Let me look on mine, but it was looking solid. I remember looking at it. Yeah, it does. It looks like it wants to continue up. Remember, we were looking at it down here in the 220s. It's in the 270s. It looks like it wants to get up into that top and really move there. So it's a drug manufacturer, and I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks pretty good to me. So IXHL looking good to run up. Maxon, MAXN, this was down 28 cents. And remember, it ran up almost towards that top, just like almost at 1266, might even went a little higher. And it looks like it wants to kind of pull back, but honestly, I think it's making another base right here and wants to get moving even more. So I'm gonna have to look at it in the morning just to be able to tell over the weekend. But that 20 is coming up to meet the 50, and I think it's staying right here. Right. I mean, it could dip down to the low eights if it wanted to pull back, but I think it's going to stay right around here and get moving back up and run again. So keep our eye on MAXN, and that is a solar company in Singapore. And that is looking good to set back up, I think. So BSLK, that Bolt Projects, I'm telling you, keep your eye on this tomorrow. Getting out of the basement, curling up. It did run up about 31 to 44 on Friday, and it is looking really, really good right there. So I would keep an eye on this BSLK because it is looking really nice right now. So I will definitely be keeping an eye on that one and watch for that one to try to bounce. And remember, we saw this, it was way higher up. That bottom was on the six at like 26 cents, and right now it's around 36 or 33. I'm not sure where it closed at, but we were looking at it not long ago, and it was probably up here. I don't really remember, but at least in the 70s or 80s, I'd have to imagine. Maybe the 50s or 60s. I don't really remember when we first started looking at it. I know it ran up once and then we kind of stopped and it pulled back, and now it's getting ready to roll. And it was in the basement there for a while. So this could pull a really nice move right here. BSLK. Want to keep an eye on that. How about our VCIG? If I could type it in, here we go. Recently split and pulled back. Looks like it wanted to continue to pull back on Friday. Let's see, 215. I mean, it does look like it wants to continue to pull back. We'll have to see if it's going to bottom out and bounce right there. VCIG, but you know it's going to run. It recently split and hasn't run yet. The 20's up here at like 386, and this is down at 206. So we'll have to see if it wants to stay in the basement and set up. I'll look at it tomorrow and just see what that one wants to do. That way we know. GBR. I think this one was looking good last week. Oh yeah, this one's looking really good to start running up. So keep your eye on GBR. And I remember I was saying it should bounce around from like this 121 to about 132 in that area and get set up for a little while. So just watch for some dips. If it does pull back under that, I'm gonna pull it up under mine so I can really tell. But just watch if it pulls back into this channel into the 115, 121 because it has done it. But I'm telling you, this thing, and if it does, that's where you really want to see it. But this thing looks like it wants to get moving. GBR, it is definitely setting up right there and looking pretty good. So keep your eye on that bad boy. I would say GIFT. What am I typing in? GIFT was down 13 cents, but it did. I was going to say it ran up Friday. I remember it opened at 172, went up to 203. I thought it went a little higher. No, 174 to 203 and down to 160. So I do remember it did run up, and that was your gift right there. As we were definitely talking about GIFT and saying it was a gift, and it was down here in like the 120s, and it went up to 203. So that's a pretty nice gift right there, and it could just be pulling back to set back up. So I will look at it, and that is GIFT, and it could get moving again. It just ran up when we said it would, and it could set right back up. So keep my eye on that one. GV Visionary Holdings. This one I was setting up as well and ran up for us on Friday. I don't even think I posted about it, but I remember I did see it and it ran way up. It opened at 149 and ran up to 328. And we were definitely looking at this the day before. So there you go. And it does look like it wants to try to run up higher. It is setting up, but I'd have to look at this on um tomorrow when it opens up, and another one it looks like it kind of ran up a day early. It should have just kept its momentum, and it looks like it kind of spiked up too much on Friday, and it should have went like an extra day. So a lot of them had that look, and so that's why I'm saying we'll have to see how things open up. If they obviously open up mega green or green tomorrow, they're going to be moving. And if they're red, you may just see that little bit of pullback why they set up, but I can't really tell you exactly which way they're going to go, especially after the election, happened and everything else. So you have that reaction going on, and it's hard to tell. But like I said, we'll dissect it and know exactly what's going on. And in the meantime, crypto's going wild. But HAO, that one is setting up as well. This one ran up a little bit on Friday. I think it opened, 22 to 26. If it didn't run up any higher, hold on. Um, 24 to 26. It's low as 18, but I did see it running up, and it is in a great spot. That 20 was curling it up. I think this tries to continue to move. So HAO, and you could see these China the penny ones start moving. So even though the Yang wants to go up, and that would obviously to be bearish for it, then penny stocks like that for whatever reason. It's kind of like when our big caps are pulling back, our penny stocks seem to like it. I guess they're pulling back, the money moves into the penny stocks and they start popping up. So that's HAO. So yeah, it does look like it's trying to set up and run, and it did. And we'll have to keep an eye on it. MLEC. Mulek Sciences, and I know this was on a laptop travel list, and it is setting up right here. So keep your eye on this bad boy. It was just flat. Let me see what it did in the after hours. MLEC. Yeah, it went from 89, it opened out to 85, so it did pull back and it closed at 88. It was basically kind of flat, jumped around, and this one does jump around, but it is setting up right there. So MLEC is a setup right there. PTIX, let's look. That was down 2 cents, and this one is setting up really good. It's going to hit that line right now, and I think it's going to try to bounce off, is what it looks like to me. So it really looks like it wants to on mine. I would keep an eye on that one. I think PTIX is setting up right there to get moving. So that's at what, it's 59 cents, 60 cents, and has to get right over this area of like 65 cents, say. Gets over 65, it should start moving. And it's done it a few times. It did it on the 6th and it jumped up to about 77, and it's been trying to. It's pushed the envelope and it's going to. So PTIX setting up. ELAB, I know a lot of people are looking at that. And remember, I was saying it was right there setting up. And I think this is going to be curling up right there. So what is brewing in the ELAB factory? I am not sure right there, laptop travel, but here you go. I'll pretty sure that's your chart right there. I'll repost it because I'm telling you this thing. And remember, we were looking at it last week and we liked it. And this week it's still setting up. It was up a little bit. It was up like 5%. I mean, 5.5% on Friday and down a little bit was what I meant to say in the after hours. And it, again, it's at what? 2 cents? Is that what it's at? Yeah, it's like right at 2 cents, under two, and it's curling up. And I'm telling you, this thing could get moving. And these things, if this thing went from like 2 to 7, that's a big jump right there because it was just at what, 6, almost 7 on Halloween. And on the 30th, it was at 9 cents. And if you go back to the 25th, it was at 18. So we're looking at it at just about 2 cents. And it's curling up there as long as it gets through that MACD, and I think it's trying to. It's trying to. Like I said, it was on the scanner the other day, and it looks like it's trying to curl up there. So I'm keeping an eye on that ELAB, and I think it is setting up. So definitely keep your eye on that bad boy. because it's looking really good. And I'll look at it in the morning just to see, but it could be moving in the morning. So those of you that are up early with the Web Bowl, take a look at ELAB because that might be one that's cruising there. SANW, that SNW seed company. Someone wanted to look at that. I know it was on a list the other day. I know it ran up Thursday, opened at 283, or it ran up. It started to run up and then it topped out on Thursday. It got up to that 283. It hit the 20, pull back there Friday and just kind of pull back almost perfectly. So we'll have to see how this one opens up. If it wants to bounce off, or maybe it's just trying to ride that bottom line and curl back up again. It tested that 20 right there around 280 and it pulled back pulled back to 240 and it should try to bounce off. I don't think it's going to get in that basement right there. I still think that bottom was on Halloween at 216 and again you're at 241. So I think we're looking for a little bounce play on that SANW, and it did run up and like basically peaked out but didn't top out or anything on Thursday and just pulled back. So we'll watch for it to try to bounce back up there and see what it wants to do. XTKG X3 Holdings. This was down a penny, and let's see, it's at 14, 15 cent area and it's setting up right there. It was running up. Honestly, it was bottomed out there on November 1st. It got down to like 9.5 cents. XTKG. This is an interesting one. And yeah, it looks like it wants to just bounce back up there off that 20, wants to curl it up. And if you caught that bottom down there, it was pretty nice because it was, like I said, it was in the 9 cent area and it was pretty good. It was down there 2 days and gave you that look and said, I'm going to get moving. And it did. So I think this one has potential to keep curling up and try to get back up to 18 cent area right there. And let's see what else we're looking at here. NVFY. Let's see. Nova Lifestyle. Oh, that one's looking good too. Um, there's your bottom at 99. I think Laptop Travel just posted something. I just saw it come in. Um, there's your bottom. So there you go. He just said it too. But yeah, there's your bottom right there. It looks like at basically that 99. I'm sorry, it's not 99. That's 90 cents. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but that's 90 cents on Thursday, and that was your bottom. And this thing's gonna start trying to crawl back up. Just look tomorrow and see if it does try to dip any. Again, market conditions. Oh, did it even run up? Let me see. Yeah, it says it might have ran up on the after hours here. It opened at 98, went to 128. Yeah, I guess it did run up a little bit, but watch for that to be a momentum play. So there you go. Mine says it actually did run up in the after hours. NVFY, it says it's at 128 and it looks pretty strong crossing through. So check out that bad boy because it does look really good. Probably why we were saying it was going to run up because you could kind of see it wanted to, and it sure did. So it's running, and watch that to be a little momentum play right there. SLXN. I remember checking this one out, and let's see what this is up to. It's down a penny, and that bottom was right here at 22 cents, like 0.2280. And what day was that? November 4th, not too far off, and it's at 26 cents. And I think this one's looked like it was just trying to crawl back a little bit on Friday, but nothing too crazy right there. And I think it's going to be trying to set up. I'll look at it tomorrow, but I think you have a setup happening right here. It's going to get up into that 30 cent area, and then it's going to get cruising. And I think it could get up there. It could gap up there at any moment. It says a biotech company in Israel, and it looks like something's going to be good here. So I would say that's setting up. SLXN, I think that's going to be setting up right there. CNSP, let's see it. This one looks like it's trying to crawl up, and it looked like its bottom was November 4th at about 10 cents, and it's rolling off of there. Let me see if it's going to continue. Oh yeah, it looks really good. Keep your eye on CNSP. I know we looked at this one before, and it looks really good to try to move tomorrow morning. So I would say look at that bad boy right there. Let me see right here. Yeah, CNSP is looking really nice right there. And there's our SLXN chart as well. And there you go. But yeah, CNSP is looking beautiful right there. And I just clicked right off of it. But yeah, it is looking really, really good. So I'll be looking at that in the morning because that one should be moving, I would assume. Again, depends on market conditions, but if market conditions are halfway decent, that should be moving. Hey, how about that railroad ran up to like 58 cents, and that's RVSN. And that one is looking pretty decent. I mean, it's not looking bad. Let's put it that way. Like I said, it did run up a little bit. Oh, wait, it gapped up there is what it did because it closed at about 54 and then it went up to 58, but it was moving up there Thursday and Friday. Came back down to 55 is what it says. This says 56, but it did pull back. We'll have to see, but I think this is really setting up, and it's an Israeli railroad company. And again, I think RVSN is getting set up right there. Could see a little bit of pullback, and then we'll catch it at the best price if it comes back into the 40s. But we'll have to see what it looks like because they're telling me kind of different. It looks like it was trying to run up there in the after hours, but on this one, it looks like it was trying to pull back. So these charts are still a little goofy, but I think that they're going to work their way out in the next week or so, and then it's going to be like really wild. And like I said, crypto is insane. So if you're not into it, I would be signing up for Coinbase ASAP because it is crazy. And in fact, Coinbase, I'm thinking a lot of people are signing up because that one is going crazy. So we'll look at all that really soon. But that is the RVSN. It is setting up REVB. That Revelation Bioscience recently had their earnings. And again, I don't like earnings. This thing was setting up 20 and 50 perfect, curling up, and then all of a sudden hits the earnings and dips hard. But I'll tell you what, here's where I think your bottom is. It looks like it's going to bounce right off there, REVB. And now you see why I'm not going to mess with earnings. And did it pop up in the after hours? So there you go. It went from 83 to 124. It's at 96. So it must have jumped up there at some point because this says it was at, oh yeah, it says it was up 27 cents in the after hours. Wasn't even looking at that. Um, 109. This says 96, but it got up to 124. So yeah, it did look like it wanted to bounce and be the bottom there. And again, them earnings, I'm telling you, I'm not comfortable with the earnings. It seems like they do the opposite, but at least this one dipped and then did rip right away. But there you go, REVB. And I would imagine it's going to keep some momentum if the market's halfway decent tomorrow. It looks like it could want to. So we'll keep an eye on that one in the morning, guys, to see if that's a momentum play. And again, I'm not exactly sure where it's at, 109.96. Who the heck knows? But you'll know when it opens up if it wants to get cruising. RGF, that real good food. Oh, this one is setting up. This one's going to be a popper probably tomorrow too. RGF. So take a look at that tomorrow. I can tell you right now, it's going to be popping. So RGF, you want to take a look at because it is good right there. Did Laptop Travel post that one? Yep, he did. Here you go. You want to see that? There's your RGF, real good foods. It looks real good. Like they have some good foods going on. It was 32 to 33, low 29, closed at 33, and is curling up beautifully and looking great, setting up. I mean, even if it hits up here, which it did at 33 and pulls back down to the 30, but I'm not even sure it's going to do that. It just looks like it wants to get cruising. It could do it for a day or so, but it looks good. So keep your eye on that RGF in the morning. GOVX, GeoVax Labs. I remember when this one ran way up on like that monkeypox stuff, but it actually is trying to curl up right there. Let me see. GOVX. Let me take a look. Yeah, it looks really good, guys. At opened at 191 up to 195 down to 188 at 194, and I think that's trying to get moving. GOVX, so keep your eyes on this tomorrow morning because I think that's getting cruising. It is setting up your 20s up here at 202. We're at like 195. It is bullish and it's looking good. So I would keep an eye on that GOVX, and let's look at our buddy Holo. It was running up last week. We said it was going to run up. It's curling up there. I think you're going to have a little bit of a runner. The 20's right there, 374. And again, these things just weren't doing this before. So, before the 20 had to come down for it. Now this thing's trying to crawl through and get moving. Let me look at it in the after hours, see what it did. And yeah, I'd almost peeked through. Watch for Holo to try to start bouncing. And I'm telling you, these charts are getting back to normal. And I believe within a week or two, we're going to see some pretty normal charts here, and it is going to be amazing. And what's that? Right around Thanksgiving. So there you go. The timing. And then, like I said, Christmas, it's wild. But in the meantime, crypto, these things are just flying. So I'm just saying the charts are even getting easier, but we're just crushing them anyway, and they're moving regardless. And it's going to be getting wild, guys. I'm telling you. We are going to have the best country we've ever seen. It's actually going to run like we've always been told this country was supposed to run. We're finally going to see it. Elon's in there, like already holding uh, like practically press conferences and stuff, trying to get like Secretary of State. I mean, that guy does not mess around. You put him on something, you're going to have results and great results with it. So, I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So, I hope people, I had to ease people's minds. I know a couple of my neighbors, I talked to them and they even told me I helped them ease their mind because I said, listen, nobody's losing their rights. No one's losing anything. Trust me. If you need anything that sounds normal and something that is like we grew up knowing that was normal, you're going to have a opportunity to get it. No one's taking anything. So just relax, turn off the media for like a week or two, get that shit out of your brain and watch this country be the greatest country you've ever seen. And they said, well, you've said everything else that comes true, so I hope I can believe you. And I'm like, just trust my word and stop believing the stupid media. It's bullshit. It'll be disappear in a year because it shouldn't even be on there talking like it does. It's propaganda machine. Um, I just saw, and I'll post it out. I don't know if I did earlier, but I forget. She spent $1 billion and they broke down how much she spent per month in the media. Oh my good. No wonder why they were promoting her hardcore. Like I say, just follow the money trail. But anyway, there you go. And I think these things are going to be firing up and firing up for a while, and things are going to be beautiful. So IONQ. I mean, Jennifer Lee, I told you, whenever she posts one in, guys, sends them in, you can watch for that for a momentum play because it's amazing what she can do. She picks out, I mean, out of all the stocks that you see, and we go through a ton of them, she sends in just like two or three random ones here and there. She's very selective too, and which is even better. And just crushes them when she does it. I mean, this thing she sent it in there and it just ran immediately. And it was like, yeah, it looks like it has momentum. And bam, thing just kept on moving. So this thing's moving. It looks like it wants to keep momentum in the morning. Again, it's hard to tell over the weekend, but it ran way up there. I mean, it opened at 21, but this thing was down here like, and I remember it was in the 14s, and then it ran up, and then I was like, I don't know if it really wants to go anymore. Look at it, and then boom, cross through, bam, bam, and it was like, holy shit, that thing went nutty. So IONQ looking really good right there to try to keep going in the morning. Again, just keep your eye on it. It did run up pretty wild. So we'll see if it does, and you'll know in the morning, guys, if you're looking at it. PTPI, that Petros Pharmaceuticals. I know we looked at this. It almost looks like that has a bottom look on it. I know it's an open and close around the same price, but it almost looks like it wants to start curling back up at some point soon. Not sure if it's going to be tomorrow, but I think it's going to be relatively soon. So I think that one's going to be trying to set up there and curl up. So just take a look at that one and we'll keep it on this the next day or so just to make sure and see what it wants to do. BNOX. Let's see what this one does. This one ran up the other day, November 5th in the 60s. It's in 41, but it looks pretty good to try to run back up. It pulled back, but it was just some healthy pullback right there. BNOX. And I think this could be a little momentum play right there in the morning. So keep an eye on that one. BNOX. And that looks pretty decent. ACHR. Isn't this the uh yeah, aerospace and defense, couldn't think of it. Archer Aviation. This one shot way up and we were looking at it the other day. I know because we went through aerospace and this one looked really good. It did it did have earnings, so again, I don't know, but I said Lunar was going to move as well. And but ACHR or yeah, ACHR we definitely went through. Kathy Wood says this will fly. Wood was an early bull on Tesla. Yeah, we know who she is, but yeah, it definitely looked good and it was setting up. I mean, I would be careful right now though, because it looks like it's going to hit that top and pull back. That's the only problem with ACHR. And again, I know we looked at it the other like last week, so you would have been pretty early and it was setting up nice. I do remember it because like I said, we went through the whole entire aerospace and defense sector right there and I pulled that one up. So yeah, it does look good. I mean, it could definitely be a momentum play as well in the morning, but again, that's going to pull back there. It did shoot up, and anytime that she puts her name on something, you can assume it's going to go up a little bit and then pull right back there. So, there you go. And again, they get run up. You see the setup, and if you know you want to sell it when it pops up, you get out of it, or you invest in it long term if you believe in it. So. That's what she does. And again, it does run up and you're going to see pullback. So let's see if it gets in the top. Look at it tomorrow morning. You'll know if it's in the top. If it runs up there, it's definitely got momentum and it'll continue to move. So that's ACHR. And again, it has that kind of news with her. So you don't know what exactly it'll do, especially over the weekend. So just keep your eye on it because it could be a mover. KITT is another aerospace and defense we were going over. A little bit of pullback there, but this one's setting up as well. It looks like it's going to roll off there at KITT. I would keep an eye on it. I'll definitely look at it tomorrow and see if if it does try to roll off. And Laptop Travel said what? They'll report earnings November 12th. So we'll see. I don't let me see. Does it even say it on there? Nah, it doesn't even say it on here. I'm surprised, but that's doesn't mean they don't have them coming up on November 12th. So we'll take a look at that and see. But yeah, that one's like just hitting that line down there to the Friday. So we'll see what it does tomorrow if it wants to bounce through or come through. So bounce off or come through. So I'll keep an eye on that KITT and look at that. ASO, let's see that one. ASO. Let's see what that's up to. Academy Sports and Outdoors. This one was curling up, trying to break through, just hitting there and coming down, but setting up bullish. ASO. This is an interesting one. Let me just see it in the morning because it was hitting there trying to get through multiple times and it's going to. I mean, this one could rip in the morning as well. It could just pop off. I would look at it in the morning if I were you guys. It looks like it's setting up. It pushed the envelope a few times and tried to get through, and it did run up the other day on November 6th. It got up to 55 something, but that it gapped up because it closed at 53. It's at 51.99, but it is trying to set up here, and it is like setting up probably like a month or so down the road. So we'll keep an eye on it. ASO, an interesting chart right there. And can't even read this thing. GR or yeah, GRWG. GRWG. Okay, Grow Generation Corp. Here we go, because this one's setting up. Another one has earnings coming up on the 12th. What day is that? Tuesday, because tomorrow is Veterans Day, which is the 11th. And I think like what the bond market's closed tomorrow and the markets are open. I thought it used to close for Veterans Day, but maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. But anyway, they do have their earnings on the 12th, and it is pulling back there, but some really good support, and it's setting up to be pretty bullish. I would say it's setting up again, not too keen on playing the earnings, so I would rather just wait until after to see what it's doing, to be honest with you, because it could go either way. And like I said, their earnings are Tuesday, so I wouldn't be playing it tomorrow. And but that's just how I look at it, and it is. It's right there, has support, and it is setting up. That's what it looks like. But I should just say it's going to go down, so it bounces up for earnings because it does the opposite of whatever I say on earnings. Call everything else, but earnings, forget about it. I gave up. So that's why we're not trading earnings. We buy that one shot up on Thursday. I remember it was way up there at like 57 cents and it stayed at the top and it went like 20 to 32 and it wasn't too bad. I mean, like I said, it stayed in the top. Let me see what it did in the after hours. Yeah, I mean, it stayed up there pretty good. Wow. Did it really go? Yeah, 20 to 33 and came to 18, went back to 24. And like I said, it could try to bounce, like stay up there another few days or a day or so. So watch this one. But if it's pulling back, I would not mess with it at all unless you know it's bouncing off that top line again to stay up there because it ran up pretty good on Thursday, and it's trying to, but again, you got to be careful, especially after the weekend. Like, if it was during the week, it would be much easier to tell. But once they sit for like 2 days, even though the market's not open, it just gives it like, oh, what's gonna happen? You have too many things happening. So, something like this that ran up like Thursday, and again, another one looks like wanted to stall back a day, and I mean, this is a Singapore one. They all kind of have that look, and that's why I'm like, does it want to go here or there? I think they definitely ran up a day too fast on Wednesday, and it looks like they weren't supposed to know the results until probably around Wednesday, like, after the market opened, and they could actually react like later on, probably like in the late afternoon, maybe even the evening, so that they could really react Thursday and Friday. They went crazy Wednesday. So and then Thursday where they were crazy and then it kind of was like, "Oh, that's a big reaction." So we'll definitely watch it tomorrow morning, that to see what's going on. And let's cruise right through the rest of them because I put a bunch of the ETFs on for the Mag Sevens and a couple other ones that I saw. So we'll go through them, and I know Laptop Travel sent me over some, so I'll look at them as well. And I just was as I was doing the list, I just kind of jotted these ones down real quick. So let's just roll through and see what we have to look at and what's going to be setting up. Oh, ATCH. This one's down 3 cents. This one hit the top and it was just wow, it ran way up there on Thursday. And and it pulled back, but it almost kind of looks good. It's an interesting one for sure. I mean, ran up there Wednesday and Thursday and it looks like it wants to try to run back up some more. I would look at this in the morning and see if it's trying to move up there. It could bounce right there. SBET. Well, that one was ATCH, and that one does look like it's trying to bounce in the morning. SBET did run up on Friday, and it went from about 63 to over $1, and it's back down to about 73 or 69, 66 says on mine. Yeah, 69 to 109, and it closed at 66. And it looks like it's kind of pulling back. It looked like it already popped, but it's setting up. I mean, it's a really hard look. It's curling up on here. I can't even really tell what the heck it's trying to do at the moment. I definitely would have to look at that one tomorrow. So let me just mark that and say I'll look at that one in the morning or tomorrow. I bet it won't even. And a lot of these other like smaller ones they won't really start moving in probably until about 9:30. So I'll look at them as the market opens and we'll have a good idea. I'll just jot them down and we'll know which ones are good to look at for tomorrow's show and what's going on. And I'll post AISP looks like it wants to run up in the top. Airship AI Holdings. This looks really good. I would say this is going to be a momentum play. AISP, let me see. Yeah, I would say I would watch that for a momentum play in the morning because that looks like it's going to continue to run up. How about CGBS? Brown LNG up 8 cents. I know we've looked at this before. and it was probably way down here in the 20s, and it's way up in the 45, 50 area right now. It got up to almost 50 cents. It looks like CGBS, probably 49 cents. It looks like that wants to continue to run up in the morning to the top. So keep your eye on that one for a little momentum play as well. CGBS, it does look good. MLGO, remember this one, algo. And it's just, oh, this one's going to start curling up and running, guys. Let me check it out on mine, but it looks good there, and it looks pretty good here. Just a little bit of pullback going on, nothing crazy. Its bottom was November 6th at 19 cents. You're at about 21. So MLGO, you're going to get a curl up on that and start moving. So that's setting up to get cruising. SAIH, whoop, SAIH. That one's cruising. I know we looked at it last week. I don't remember when, but its bottom was November 5th at 97 cents. It's at 134 and it ran like 118 to 137. And it looks like it wants to get into the top and have a little momentum in the morning. Let me see. Yeah, closed at 130 there, opened at 114, 137, and I would say that wants to try to keep momentum. I would look at that in the morning as well. And again, market conditions are going to really dictate what these guys are doing, but definitely wants to check out first thing. You have a nice list to take a look at and see if they're moving. You know what they're going to be doing. CAN looks like it's pulling back, but it's pulling back to set up. So let me take a better look at this one. Yeah, it seems like, let me see, it ran up pretty nice. And on Thursday, it was at 148. And then yesterday or Friday, it pulled back to like 117. It's at 133. And it does. It just kind of looks like it's pulling back, but it's setting up and it has some good support lines right there at 120 and 114. I'll have to keep an eye on Can and see what it can do because it can get moving for sure. It is setting up. It's just a matter of when the timing is on it. So I will look at that. MWG multi-way holdings. Let's see. That one is curling up right there. And I would say this one's moving. MWG, another one we've been looking at, and it looks pretty good. Just a little bit of pullback there Friday. But I would say that should be trying to set up there. MWG multi-way holdings. So keep an eye on that. And Laptop Travel likes that one, I think. It does not want to go multi-ways. It just wants to run one way, and that's upward. And I think Laptop Travel's right about that. So take a look at that bad boy because it is looking good right there. And let me just cruise right through these bad boys, and then I'll take the messages and see what you guys want to see, and we'll go through our big caps and some ETFs and just take a quick look at them because I'm telling you, we're going to just start really zeroing in on our best chances to make the most profitable trades. And we'll have a nice little list and we can just go at it. So we'll start doing that. And of course, we'll look at crypto. And I had my scanner up earlier. It was wild. I mean, there's some crazy ones popping. So, like I said, if you don't have Coinbase yet, you probably want to sign up for an account because we're going to start really going through them and get cruising. So they get wild. Like I said, we'll look at that teller. I'll just look at it. I have it on my stock twit, so it is TRB, and today it went up over $29. I know it was like in the 90s this morning, so it went absolutely crazy. Let me see. I'll look on here. TRB teller Coinbase. There we go. It went from, well, that was today's date now. 56 to 109, guys. That's what Teller did. Looked at it yesterday and said to my buddy, yo, we should probably get Teller. It looks really good because we've traded it before. And and it had been way down there. It was in the lower 50s, like 53 or something, $50. And then yeah, it was at like its low was 51 yesterday. And then boom, it went nutty, or 2 days ago. Well, the day just changed on crypto, so it changes at like 7 p.m. So that's why it's just it started me off for the days because it just changed. But like I said, yesterday, last night, looking at it, it popped today like a maniac. And yeah, it literally opened up at 56 and went to 109 and it's at 85. So there you go. And that is exactly what crypto does. And it does it very often. And the charts I think are really easy to be honest. And and it's easy to trade. It's just crazy fast paced and yeah, like right around now, I'm telling you, it just starts setting back up for the international markets and it gets wild again. I was on it last night, obviously, and yeah, you can hit some big poppers like that and I'm telling you, you can and my one buddy's he trades with some heavy duty money, so he killed it the last cycle. I mean, just made a fortune, and so yeah, we trade together and just crush that part. And like I said, the bots go nuts, and yeah, and that's what we're gonna be getting into for the next few months at least I can see. So it's going to get really interesting and fun. Like I told you guys, it would be, yeah, TRBUSD. There you go. That is Teller, TRBUSD. And so yeah, like I said, we'll get way more into crypto and them kind of coins. I know we just do the main ones and they just started getting cruising like really crazy, obviously, right after the election. And they literally went nuts this weekend. So and it's just getting fired up because them big ones are moving, and now these alt ones moving. I've seen some of these move like almost 10,000% overnight. It's wild, and I'm telling you, my scanner picks them right up like it's no big deal. They jump right out at me, and yeah, my buddy and. He's like super excited. I mean, just this morning it was great. I texted him. I said, "Yeah, look at Teller real quick." And he went, "What the hell?" He's like, "How the hell did you do that?" I went, "The chart has looked really good. I don't know. It just looked perfect." So there you go. That'll happen nonstop, guys. And like I said, crypto seems to be pretty easy. There's a lot of great coins, and once they start moving, my hardest thing is they get up in the top and they'll run up there for like weeks. And you know how I get when they get to the top, so I kind of have to it's hard for me. That's my hardest thing with crypto. I guess it's a great problem, but and I've tried to get a little better, obviously, at trying to read the tops when they want to come down because it's not the same as stocks. Because these things will move in the top for like 3 weeks plus. They'll pull back a little bit and pull back in the top and just keep cruising. They're like, that thing's got to come down, and no, it's going higher and higher and higher. So, yeah, it's a wild scene, but yeah, that's the only issue that I have. So I guess it's a good problem, but it's sometimes hard to read where they're topping out and they just get wild. So there you go. And we will look at them. But MWG is looking really good as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And ATIP. Yeah, it'll be so nice that we have like 9 million different options to choose from because you'll have crypto, you'll have the big caps, the options, the small penny stocks if you like them, and yeah, it'll just be wild. So, um, we'll be doing it all, and that's for sure. And that, oh, what did your the Wi-Fi? What did that do? Oh wow, remember I said that was looking good there. Let's see. Remember it was WIF, and it was Laptop Travel's wife's pet rock, he said. She's like, loves it. I'm just trying to find the Coinbase one. I'll just look at crypto.com. They're all the damn same. But yeah, we just looked at it the other day. It was like 231. It's at 311 right now. And it did cross through and it went pretty nutty. So, like I said, these things just go buck wild all the time. And that chart was pretty easy. So, there you go. And sweet, RD just threw a bunch of ETFs on there. So thank you, RD. Greatly appreciate that. We will check them out. I don't know if I have them guys on there. I don't think I have PLTRs or AMDs, so or SMS. Yeah, we'll definitely pop them on. Appreciate that for sure. We'll throw them on there as well. And here we go. I'll roll through this list. I'll go through the rest of the messages real quick. And like I said, we'll look at a little crypto, but I just wanted to give you a little idea, give you an idea about options, crypto, and like I said, I told you guys it was gonna get good, and it's gonna get good. I've told everybody, and I'm gonna tell you guys. I probably said it before, and I'll be honest. You're gonna see more multimillionaires, not even millionaires, probably multimillionaires made in these next few months than you've ever seen before. You can probably combine the .com bubbles and all that crap, and you're just going to see these things roll. And like I said before, a lot of these young kids that are on these Reddits and stuff, they see these meme coins, and I don't know what the hell they happens to them, but holy shit, you just wake up one night and they're up like 10,000%. You don't have to put that much on them, and they just go wild. But again, I generally see them. Our biggest issue is that they happen in on Binance for the most part. I'm hoping Coinbase, they started picking up more coins, and now I'm hoping it gets more even better because like I've explained before, we have Coinbase US and Binance US, and regular Binance for the international, they have way more selection, and that's why a lot of the big crypto people do live in Canada or out of this country because they can trade way better coins. They have bigger coin selection, and it makes a huge difference because, like I said, some of them just run. I mean, you can buy a house overnight with no problem. It's that crazy. So just listen to what I'm saying because I've watched it happen multiple times. And I'm telling you, my one buddy's completely wealthy from crypto. I know a few people that made bank last run, and yeah, you don't want to miss something like this. You already can tell what's going to happen. So it's not something you want to miss the boat on because it's one of them one in a life opportunities that it just all lines up perfectly like that. And if you happen to miss the last run where it went nuts, here's your second shot at it. So, and like I've told you before, I'm heavy in Solana. That was rolling up there. Ripple's pretty good. There's a few others, and we'll go through them all and break them down more. But let's roll through our list here. And obviously, this I'm telling you, it's just getting started. It's exciting. So XPON, let's look at it. It was down 13 cents. It did run. Oh, it's curling up pretty nice right there. I think you just had a little healthy pullback on XPON. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's just a little healthy pullback. I'll look at it in the morning, but that looks really good. XPON right there. So let me just take a look at that one because I think that one might be really solid right there. MDJH. Let me see. MDJH. There we go. MDJM LTD. And this one was just at the bottom. It's going to start curling up. It looks like its bottom was right there at like 14 cents. It's back to 17. MDJH. Yeah, this one's going to start curling up this week. You can see it. I would say keep an eye on that one because that one's going to get moving, guys. That one looks really good. MDJH. So there you go. Look at that bad boy. Whoa, where we go? Here we go. MWG. Hold on. Oh, wait. Thing doesn't even it didn't refresh, but I thought there it goes. A lotto play. Which one's that? The one I was just saying, MDJH. Yeah, I'm telling you, this one looks really good right there. So did you put the chart? Yep, I'll repost the chart right there. So there you go. You can look at it, MDJH. But yeah, it looks like it's just crawling up. It's still in the basement right there. And like I said, the bottom was just the other day on Wednesday. It looks like 0.1430. It's back to 17 or 18 cents. And it is looking pretty nice right there. So keep an eye on that bad boy, AKTS. Let's look at it. Down 7%. And just stair stepping down, but it just wasn't able to break through yet. Wait until this bad boy gets setting up because it's going too soon. And I'm going to keep an eye on this one. and see when it wants to actually try to curl up because it's going to get moving. AKTS, you can see that 20 will come down and roll up. It may have like a this week to set up AKTS, but I'll take a look at it tomorrow and just see what it wants to do there and let you guys know. TSM. This one's great. Taiwan Semiconductor. I know we looked at it last week and it was down here at the bottom. We even said it just the other day on the 6th, which was Wednesday. It was bottomed out at 188. It's already in the 200 range and it's setting up right here. I'm telling you, this thing's going to get curled up and moving. It looks really good. TSM, just keep an eye on it because I like that one. TSM, it's probably going to be a good options one. So keep an eye on that one, I think. Options there. S what did I oh SUGP. SUGP. Let's look at this one. This one ran up Friday, 123 to 170, and it does look like it wants to keep that momentum. So just keep an eye on this one in the morning because it did look really good. It was popping up there, and I think it could continue to go. So SUGP not looking bad. Continue the momentum there. Well, let me see. Oh yeah, I skipped wait, no. Yeah, I'm good. AKTX, that's what it was. Mixed me up with AKTS right there. I put them too close. Holy cow. Um, AKTX. Now this one's just flat but curling up. Now this one's really setting up. AKTX. It tried to run up. It did a little, well, it gapped up actually because Thursday it closed at 232 and then it opened at 262, came back to 228. It's at 245. Keep your eye on this one, AKTX, because it could be moving tomorrow. If not, it's a little healthy pullback and it's going to be setting up to try to move. So A AKTX, I didn't even write it. AKTX is definitely looking good. I'm trying to write it down. I can't. AKTX. Holy cow. My handwriting's atrocious, guys. I mean, I have to like sit at my kitchen table and write the list out just so I can read it. Because if I do it anywhere else, I seem to like just write like so. I have always written kind of sloppy, but now it's really bad. I'm like, what am I even writing? AKTX. Anyway, here we go. And again, it's just because it's like a lot like shadows that I just can't tell. I'm like, is that the box right there? Like if I took a picture of this thing, I still don't even know what it says. I'm gonna write it again. A all right, there you go. I can read it now. Oh man. Anyway, sorry. Let's get rolling. AYRO. My hardest problems writing things down at this at doing this. That's my challenge. The charts don't bother me. It's trying to write them down and look at things. AYRO. Um was just curling up there, not bad. Just a little pullback and like just some normal running action right there. Actually, it looks like a normal chart, and curling up there. Actually, yeah. Hold on, wait. That one, hold on. That was still the other one that looked good. AKTX. I'm telling you, that one looks good. AYRO, but yeah, just actually it pulled back a little bit more on mine. The 74. What's it here? 74. Yeah, I mean it doesn't look bad. It's kind of bouncing up there and not looking terrible right there. So I'll look at that one tomorrow and see if it wants to bounce back up there. So we'll see about that one. AYR, a solid consolidation pattern. That's exactly, yeah, I would say so for sure. So that's why you just can't tell exactly where it wants to bounce, but it does want to bounce. That's for sure. It's just a matter of timing it out right. That's what we try to do here. AYRO. And the next one is CTHR. Charles and Calvert LTD. Some luxury goods that I've never heard of. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be pretty luxurious and moving. At least there it does. Let me look on mine. Yeah, I would say it's trying to move right here. CTHR. I have no idea what that company is, but it looks pretty good. And let's look at Grow, GROW, US global investors. And they're trying to grow their account because it's starting to curl up there and it's looking much better. So I would say grow. Oh, it did run there too, huh? 249 to 251, back to 246. I mean, nothing crazy, but I'd have to look at this in the morning because it looks like it tried to run up there in the after hours or do something. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll take a look at grow and see what the heck's happening with that one. HSDT. Well, hold on. HSDT. There we go. Helios Medical Technologies. That was up a penny, and it's just like a little flat there. But I'm telling you what, this one's going to get moving this week. It's looking pretty good. I mean, it looked like it tried to pull back in the after hours on here, and that's what's like really weird about the weekend and Friday. And I know that they can do anything in the after hours, but Fridays they just seem to like do weird things. So like this one looks like it's completely set up on FinViz at 56 cents, 0.5680. And then on mine, it's at 55 and looks like it wants to pull back. So just a little bit weird, but I think it's getting set up to get moving right there. And honestly, could just trade right between that channel of 56 and 63, and it'll be perfectly fine as it sets up. So that is HSDT Helios Medical Technologies, and it is setting up right there. IMCC's a cannabis one. Didn't we say that this didn't do cannabis anymore? But I forget. But I don't remember if it was this one or not. They do have earnings coming out on the 14th, but it does look pretty good. But again, I'd be careful. It just crossed through, bounced up there. IMCC, I'm not a big earnings person, but it is looking pretty solid right there. So I'm not sure. It says it's an Israeli company. I kind of feel like they don't. I have no idea. I don't remember. I'll have to look. I'll look and see. I remember there's a cannabis company that doesn't, it still kept it, has the name, but doesn't do cannabis stuff anymore. They got bought out or something. I have no idea. But anyway, IMCC, it's not looking bad. I'll look at it. Earnings are coming up. Core Group. This one also has their earnings on the 13th, but this one looks pretty solid to try to cross through tomorrow. But again, you have to keep your eye on this one to make sure it does. Could bounce back, could bounce up. If it crosses through, it's gonna run up there. Core. So that's all you're looking for. If it can cross through, it's moving. And so that's what you look at. L LGMK. Logic Mark. That's that one. That has earnings this week too, on the 12th, which is Tuesday, and that looks pretty healthy to keep moving. It's been running that channel of like 13 to like 10 right now, but Logic Mark is setting up LGMK. Yeah, it looks really good. Actually, I'd keep an eye on that one to try to get moving some more. I know we've looked at it a lot, but it does look pretty good to keep moving. So we'll keep an eye on that one. MGX, I believe. Let's see. MGX. That's a crazy name. I don't even know. Metagenome, something like that. It's a biotech company. I don't know what's their name is, but it's just kind of pulling back there. I have to see. It looks like it's going to trade between that channel 225 and 202 right where it's at right now. So it could just jump up tomorrow, just jump around in there. That's what it looks like to me. I think it's the first time we looked at this one, but yeah, I'll check it out. But that's what it appears to right now. Appears like at the moment. NCPL. Let's see, net capital is down 14 cents. Just another one, just kind of trading in that channel of 185 and 163. This one was 183, 199, and it got down to 156. So you're just seeing it bounce around as it sets up. Nothing crazy, but it is setting up right there. And so there you go with that. And MGX Laptop Travel loves the look. Starting to curl up. So there you go with that. I'll post that out. I'm probably not sure if he posted a few more charts here. Here's LGMK and Core. There you go. There's a few of them. And HSDT Laptop Travel's got them all coming out. So I'll just repost a bunch real quick, and then I'll roll through the rest of these guys. And like I said, we'll get to some crypto and everything else right there. So let's look, and everybody else, whatever you guys want to look at, let me know and we'll check it out. But here we are, OGEN. I mean, OGEN. Whoop, I just did OGN. We'll look at that instead, real quick. That one's down at the bottom, not looking too bad. Actually, OGN just popped it up and it's just flat right there. But I bet this one will set up real soon. OGN. Yeah, you're gonna see this one start to set up. So I didn't really mean to click on it, but there you go. OGN. We'll look at any of them in 3 seconds and tell you what they want to do. And yeah, this one's right at the bottom. I doubt it gets back into the basement and it's gonna set up and move. But we'll look at OGEN now too. And that one's curling up and looking much better than OGN. Take a look at this. It gets back over this 43 cent area right where its high was. It's back to like 38 or 35. But OGEN, it gets back there. It's going to be popping. So keep an eye on this. And it looks like it wants to. I would definitely keep an eye on that in the morning. It looks really good right there. OGEN. There we go. OMH. OMH. Let's look at that. I ain't even gonna try to say that name, and I know we looked at this company before, but I mean, these things are just crossing through and curling up and looking good like they used to. It's so fun to see it right now. So OMH has that look, and again, you can see that they kind of ran up a little bit faster than they should have. The charts are still a little bit off. They're getting a little bit better. I think within a week or two, you're gonna see everything kind of get back to normal, is what it looks like. And I'm telling you, it looks exciting because you can kind of, I've seen it on all these charts basically. So you know that I've been looking for it, and it's looking better. They're crossing through, they're curling up the right way, and we haven't seen this happen in 3.5 years. So I'm excited. OMH does look pretty good to try to curl up. Just was right between that channel, did what it was supposed to, and and you can literally tell like almost everything before that it's not, but it's all good. OMH, and this is a Singapore company, but a lot of them do. And look, this like all bounced around, and now just all of a sudden starting to set up the right way. So that is that one. And let's look at PALT. Or let's look at PAL. I keep clicking the wrong ones. But this one looks really good, and they just had earnings. It looks like November 8th. So they had them on Friday, and it popped up here. PAL, Proficient Auto Logistics. I've never even heard of it. PAL. What up, PAL? Hey, PAL looks like it's going to continue to go up. So if you want PAL to be your pal, it could be moving tomorrow, and it could be moving up to that $13 area, and it's at 10. So that's PAL. And I'm just catching you guys off guard because I just keep hitting in the wrong ones. But PALT looks really good too. And that's Pal Talk. Look at that. We had Pal and Pal Talk now. And their earnings are coming up on the 12th, which are Tuesday. And it's curled up. I would look for it to try to run up to that 263. It's at 215. And it isn't looking bad either, PALT. So there you go. PAL and PALT. They should join forces and have a good pal talk and run some good companies. So there you go with PAL and PALT. And let's see what else is on here. PAVM, PavMed. That's up 6 cents, and this one's setting up too. Watch this one tomorrow, guys. This one's gonna move. PAVM. Yeah, that one looks like a mover tomorrow. PAVM. So I would take a look at that one, see if it's cruising. And again, they're harder to tell which ones are exactly going to be popping on a Monday morning after the weekend. But I'm just telling you what look the best that have the opportunity, and we'll go from there. PODC looks good. Podcast one. That looks like it's about to get cruising. Just a little flat there, but I like that look. I think PODC looks good too. So keep that one on your list. PODC and REBN. Let's look at that one, and I'll take a look and see what else we're looking at because REBN, it did run up on Thursday. I remember we looked at it. It opened at 203, where it ran up to 215, and its low is 166, and now it's at about 153, and its low is 139. and it looks like it might be bouncing down into that basement area right there, REBN. So I'll look at it, but that does look like it might be coming down right there. So we'll see if it wants to bounce back up, and I'll keep an eye on that. So there you go. And let me go ahead and blast through the messages right here. And here's a bunch of charts from Courteous of Laptop Travel. So here we go. NRBO. Oh, which one's that one? Did I even say something like that? I don't even know, but let's look at it. NRBO, that's up 12 cents. Oh, that one looks really good right there. NRBO, keep that on the list tomorrow. That should be moving too. I mean, if it wasn't a weekend, I'd say that would be moving. So keep that on your list. I skipped where is it? NTIP too. All right, NTIP. That one looks really good curling up as well. Let me see. NTIP. Come here. NTIP. Oh yeah, that one looks great. I don't even know. I must have not wrote them down or I just skipped them completely. Oh yeah, you're right. I did just skip right over that, huh? But that one looks great too. And what other one? It was NRBO. So yeah, that one looked great too. I skipped over the really good ones. Went right from Net Capital and just ran right past some, huh? NXPL. Let's look at that one. Somehow I just skipped right past them. Next Plat. They were probably the best ones on here. I ran right past them. Look at that. Isn't that funny? Good call, laptop travel. This one was pulling back. It looks great on the FinViz, but it was pulling back on mine. But I'll tell you what, it's setting up anyway. So definitely keep your eye on that one too. It looks really good. And that is NXPL. And yeah, I don't even know how I just went from Net Capital and then skipped three and went to OGEN. So and but there you go, and that's them. But I appreciate you catching that. And boom. REVN. Let's look at that bad boy. Which one is that? REVN. I don't even see that one. Hold on. RVEN. I'm not even sure. Nah, the which one? I'm not sure which one that would be. REBN. I'm not even sure which one you think for that one, but got all them bad boys. Just let me cruise through right here. And like I said, Laptop Travel gave us a ton of good charts here. So Joe P wants to see talk. Let's see, because a lot of Dems going to need to use this service. What is it? I don't Talk Space, huh? Let's see. It's up at the top right there. Let's see what Talk Space is all about. Talk. What do they even do? Let me see. Talkspace launches campaign for men's health awareness, blah blah blah. And that was on the 4th. It is looking pretty healthy. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily chase it. They did have their earnings on the 29th of October. It's looking good, but it's up at that top and curling kind of down. It's just a hard look. I think it might be curling down at the moment. So I'll take a look at it in the morning talk and we'll see what it wants to do, Joe P. But it is up there and it ran up pretty significantly. And I even think if it does pull back just right now, I have a feeling that it'll get set up and run back up. So it just happened to get moving there. Oh, here's the teller tart, teller chart. I'm telling you, my brain is fried. I was looking at all kinds of crypto charts and all kinds of stuff. So, let me look through the rest of these, and we will go through crypto and the big cappers, UN and CY. Let's see what that one's doing. UNCY. I remember we looked at this last week. I think this tries to run up in the top. This might be one to keep an eye on in the morning. Let me take a look. UNCY. Yeah, I think that might be one to take a look at in the morning for a little momentum play right there. I like that one, money. Um, there we go. Bruce Love has a few. Let me roll through his list real fast. So let me see. Here we go. Buru, let's look at that bad boy. BURU. Down 5 cents, just pulling back there, huh? I remember it was looking good, and it did the day before. It looked great on Thursday. It just wasn't ready to get curled through. So let me take a look at you, Buru. Come on. Here we are. Yeah, just kind of pull back a little bit, but it's going to get set up. It's just again a matter of timing. It was trying to get moving, and for whatever reason, it didn't want to move. ASRT, let me just look at that bad boy. Acerto Holdings down 16 cents. Wow, they took a beating. November 11th is their earnings, so they're doing earnings tomorrow, and it went way into the basement, but it looks like it's going to set up. And ASRT is looking kind of beat down there, huh? Way down there. Wow. Yeah, I'd say they got beat down ASRT. So yeah, this one might be a quick a bottom and a popper. Had over 4 million in volume right there. Probably a pretty decent one to keep an eye on. ASRT. And it is setting up and it just took a nice dip right there. And their earnings are tomorrow. So keep an eye on it for after that. And we will NXU. We'll keep an eye on that. NXU took a nice dip too. I would let that just bounce right back down a little bit. NXU. Yeah, I think you might have a little more pullback. I don't know if it's ready to bounce yet. So I'd have to look at that in the morning to tell if it has that bounce in it just yet. GMM, let's see. Global Mofi AI Ltd. Definitely setting up. Probably a day this week it's gonna move. NX or yeah, that was the one we looked at. GMM. That's the one we're looking at now. Global MoFi. But yeah, I think one day this week that gets set up. So just keep your eye on that because it's looking really good. That hard line's coming down, and you should be right around like 46 cents when it wants to pop off. 43, 46. It looks like around that spot it's gonna be. I'm just looking at it where it's gonna set up at. And so look for that, and it should pop off. That EMSC, we were looking at that last week, and that looks like it could get running up into the top. So that was moving last week, and it looks like it could continue. Mine looks like it's pulling back, so I'd probably have to see that in the morning, but it did look like it closed pretty strong on the FinViz, and then mine looks like it wants to pull it back. So I'd have to look at that one, Bruce. TNXP, let's look at that. That is just running flat down there. I remember looking at this one a little while back. TNXP. Hmm. It's right there. I mean, it does look like it wants to start curling off of there. Um, I would keep an eye on that. TNXP. I might have to write that one down right there. TNXP. I think you might have to keep an eye on this one. I think that one might be getting set up to get cruising right there. I could see that happening. LHVN. LHVN. Is that an L? I don't see that one. Let me see. LHVN. Let me know if that's just the wrong letters right there, or if I'm just not looking at it right. Save, I know what that is. That's Spirit. And let's see what they're up to real quick. Save, SAVE. Well, let me type it in. SAVE down 2 cents. Um, let's see. It is setting up to try to run, but I'm not so sure it is going to. I mean, it almost looks like it wants to roll off. I'd have to look at save in the morning and tell you if it can get back over that 276 area or closer to 3, it might have it in it. But I'll look at save in the morning. TWG, I remember this one ran up like really big not long ago. Top Wealth Group, um, or dipped real big, and it did run up. I remember it did run. Well, it ran Friday like 40 cents to 47. I thought it did run the other day in like the after hours. I have to look at it now. TWG. No, I don't know. Maybe it was that big dip I remember, the 25th. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I know it did something, but it is setting up. It's curling up there, and you'll probably see this one get set up more or less this week. It's just been running flat right there at that bottom TWG. We'll have to keep an eye on that one too, because that one's going to be good. Let me jot that down. TWG, and that's that Top Wealth Group. I swore that one popped off the other day or something, but I don't know. FAMI, FAMI. Let's see what this wants to do. It's way down there too, but it almost looks like this wants to try to get set up. So, yeah, it does. It kind of looks like it wants to set itself up and get moving a little bit. It's at 29 cents, so we'll see what it can do, but it is trying to set up there, FAMI and QLGN. Let's see. Let's see what QLGN is going to do. Oh, yeah. QLGN looks really good, actually, guys. We might have to keep an eye on that one. That one's setting up for sure. You might have to look at that in the morning. That one looks really good right there. QLGN. So there you go. That CGBS was looking good. And, and so was the AISP. I do remember them guys and a bunch of charts right here from earlier courtesy of Laptop Travel. So let me throw them out there. And I think I got all them. Let me just make sure I got everything. ELAB, we did that. We did all that. IXHL, that was moving right there. And let's see. Um, Bam, bam, bam. Let's see. And I know Coinbase was moving. RKLB. There you go, Luis Rodriguez. I almost didn't see you squeezed in there. RKLB. Is that Rocket Lab one, right? RKLB. Let's see. RKLB. Rocket Lab. And this one, I mean, I remember we looked at this way down there, and this thing's just been running at the top. They do have their earnings November 12th, which is Tuesday. And honestly, Lewis, I'd be careful. I would say it's going to go down, so you probably know it's probably going to run up higher, but I don't see how. It is bullish. I think it has to pull back and set up. That's my opinion, but I'm not messing with the earnings because I just call them wrong every single time. So I'm just telling you what I see there, and it could, it looks like it should pull back, is what it looks like, but their earnings will probably crush and it'll go nutty or something. FTNT, that Fortinet, I thought at first it said Fortnite, but it does not say Fortnite. And this thing just ran right up to the top at 92 on Friday. And it is looking good right there. FTNT. I mean, it ran nice 80 to 92.53. Its low is 79.30. It's at 91.99 right now. And it looks like it would be a solid momentum play for the morning, Luis Rodriguez. So I'd look at that, guys, FTNT, and see if you like that one because it isn't looking bad at all. And let's go ahead and check out our crypto. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. And let me just check and see UNCY. We got that bad boy. And I think we got everything there. Let me make sure. And cool. JTAI, let me see. Oh, Sophie, we'll definitely hit that one. JTAI, we'll get to them big cappers right now. I'll run right through them, guys. JTAI is pulling back there. It was trying to set up, I remember, and it is not. It just kind of bounced off and went back down. So we'll keep an eye. It could be a little bounce, dip and rip situation too, right there. So keep an eye on that in the morning if it's trying to curl out. It's not showing me anything just yet, but I will keep an eye on it. And let's see. Let me run through and do these big caps real quick so we can call it a Sunday night and know what's going on. So here we go. I'll just run through them and then I'll hit crypto. Crypto, like I said, is just absolutely insane. Let's see what the SPY was up 258. It keeps running up. It looks like it wants to get it to the top, but again, it's right at that line up there. So hard to tell. Let me see on mine. Mine looks like it does want to run up. Let's just go through the rest of them and see if we can get a better idea here. AMC, it was pulled back, but I'm telling you, this thing is setting up, guys. It's going to get cruising very, very soon. So, AMC, I'd be checking it out and watch to see if it tries to roll off of there because it's setting up to try to roll off, I think. If it pulls back, it's just a great opportunity. It looks like Chewy, that's going to get moving too. It ran up a little bit, 31.81, and well, pulled back, but I'm telling you, it gapped up a little bit, and it's going to get cruising. So that one's setting up as well, and yeah, that's GameStop, AMC, and Chewy. Nvidia, let's look at it. That was down $1.25 and it's up at the top. And again, these that has earnings coming up too in the 20th, which is not this week, next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. And again, I it's hard to tell if they look like they want to pull back a little bit because they're setting up so crazy. So I'll have to keep an eye on it. Has two let's look at NVDU. Let's just take a quick look and it looks exactly the same. And I have a feeling most of these will, which is perfect because we know, yeah, they look exactly the same. And so we know, and I won't go through them all. We just know what the ETFs are now. We'll keep an eye when we know one of these is set up. We look at the ETF, and boom, we go after it. So because again, these are like two times. Um, what they would be. So I think that's the way to take them. And so we don't have to go through every ETF, but we know that they're there, they're on the list, and I'll put them in there. And so they'll be there every day, and we know which ones are looking good. We know the ETFs to attack, and bam. So that's the way I want to play it. And so we'll do it like that. And anyone else wants to see any of them, you know, we're always looking. Apple's curling up. I'm telling you guys, it's looking great. It was down 52 cents. It's setting up and it's going to get crazy right there. I don't know what Apple has going on, but they have something happening. So Apple's got something going good. And what are AAPU? Yeah, that thing is setting up crazy. AAPB. Um, Yeah, that thing's set. I couldn't really tell if it was curling up and now it's blowing up there. Curious on mine what it looks like. AAPB. Oh yeah. Apple's gonna definitely be popping, guys. So keep an eye on that one. Google, let's see, down 242. This one, remember, it ran up at the top. I think it pulls back down to here to 172 area, and it's going to be super bullish too. So we don't have to go through that one. Amazon, this one's going to get wild soon. It is at the top. I think it's pulling back, but that's when you get it. When it does this pullback back here to like the 190s or so, it's at 208. Should pull back into the 190s at some point. We'll look at it, and that's when you're going to want to get it for the holiday season because it's going to be moving. And again, we'll look at them the ETFs right there for Amazon, which is AMZU. And yeah, it looks like it wants to pull back here, unless it's going to build a base up here, but we'll find out. And AMZZ. So we will definitely do that and look at these bad boys. So I'll keep an eye on that. Meta, let's look at it. META just pulling back, setting up so crazy good. So telling you, Zuckerberg has something good happening too. So keep your eye on this Meta because he's hitting the line right there. Whether it crosses through tomorrow, I'm not exactly sure. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll see what it wants to do. But it is setting up really good. Microsoft, it was moving up last week. It kind of plateaued, base like kind of just flattened out. I mean, on Friday and just just about to cross through and get moving some more. I'd say Microsoft is looking pretty solid to try to run up this week. So keep your eye on Microsoft and Tesla. Let's look at it. Up $24. It was at like 320 something. And in the top, it looks like it wants to continue to run up there, guys. So Tesla looks like it wants to get crazy. And then when it pulls back, it's going to be at the 280s. Remember at 213, I told you, 240 to 260, and then boom, it did exactly that. And then I said it was going to 280. I never even said 300, but it just blasted through that too. So there you go at the top and moving for Tesla. And it could be a great momentum play in the morning still. Nike up 4 cents. It's down to 75.88. And I think Nike's going to try to get moving soon. So we were looking at it, and it does look pretty solid to try to move. And it is getting bullish up there around 90. So it's at 75. That could be a good play. Let's look at Rivian. This one is setting up. I know that it was up and it's been setting up. It's curling up. We know when Rivian was down there, its bottom was around that 950, and it's at 1050 almost, and it looks great. So keep your eye on Rivian as well. That one's looking really healthy. PLTR, let's look. I mean, this thing's just been a beast of its own. It's still up there, and guys, just it could still be a momentum play tomorrow. You can't even tell, but it's a monster PLTR, and it's just been running. Let's put it that way. So that one's running, and Sophie. I thought that was going to come down, to be honest, and it just blasted up there on Friday. Pulled back a little bit, so it looks like it wants to continue running up. So I would say Sophie does want to kind of run in the morning. So look at that. And again, it's market conditions, how the Monday morning opens up. And but as of now, it looks like it wants to keep that momentum and keep cruising. Sophie does. Let's look at Dell. Dell. That was pulling back there. It looks like it is going to pull back a hair, but I'll take a look at that in the morning just to make sure, not trying to bounce back up. But it does look like it's pulling back, but it's setting up to be bullish down the road too. Snow, that one we knew was running up, just a little pullback. That's setting up to get really bullish, guys. So we're going to keep an eye on Snow as well because that one's setting up, and I want to keep an eye on that for the options because that could be a good one as well. AMD, that one was down a little bit, but it was curling up, and I think this gets moving this week, guys. AMD, so keep your eye on that. AMD, yeah, I think AMD tries to move this week. So let me just put a dot next to that. Where'd it go? Tell me I lose this on this paper. QCOM, let's see that one. That one did run up when we thought it would. Now what's it doing? Just setting back up. Let it pull back, and it could get back down to this 163 area if it wants to. And we'll just see what it wants to do. But again, it's just setting up to get bullish again. And we knew that was running up. It hit the resistance and pulled back down. And that was a great one to play an option on because it moved perfectly. PayPal up $1.66, and this thing is going to get cruising, guys. So I don't know what's going on with PayPal, but that one looks really good as well. So keep an eye on that. SMCI. Yeah, I think this one's going to try to get cruising again as well. Um, Again, I think their bottom was the other day at that 2020. It's at $24, and you're just going to see it getting set up. It's in the basement, and we'll see how fast it can get set up here. But I have a feeling in the next week or so, SMCI should be getting set up as at least. So we'll keep an eye on that to know when. INTC down a little bit, but it ran up there, and it's getting set up to blast off. You just can't tell if it wants to get in the top. If it's moving tomorrow, guys, it's a great momentum play. Intel just it's gonna run up or pull back to set up to run up more. You just can't exactly tell right now. At the moment anyway. Tomorrow you'll be able to tell. Disney, remember I said this would get over 100? Well, it got to like 99.26. It's at 99 now, and it'll get to 100 plus. So it'll do exactly what we said, and it's just making a little base right there at that 99. So it can go up. And again, I said Disney would be moving, and it is. Oxy is down a little bit. We thought Oxy would be pulling back. Let it set up. It's probably going to set up in a month or so. ExxonMobil looks crazy, guys. I don't know what the heck's going on with this thing, but it just has a crazy, crazy look. I remember looking at it Friday going, the heck is going on with this thing? So let's keep an eye on ExxonMobil. And it says today, ExxonMobil among 10 best undervalued stocks to buy right now, according to Insider Monkey. Is that the name of it? Wow. Um, but yeah, it has a crazy look and it looks good. So I don't know what the heck's going on with ExxonMobil, but we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. And that's down the road, but it is looking good. How about Mara? I'm telling you, these guys are gonna get set up and rolling. So we already knew that. So keep your eye on Mara because it's gonna get set up and move. Riot's been running and it's gonna keep running up there in the top. And then when it pulls back, it'll still be bullish. So that's Riot. MSTR, That's good old micro strategy at 270. And I think he's going to be at the top tomorrow, considering what Bitcoin's doing. So I think micro strategy is going to be in the top running. CLSK, I think that got halted or something. It's at like 1357. And this thing got crazy. We were looking at it the other day. It was down here at like $10, I think. So there you go. What is ExxonMobil doing? Hold on. Laptop Travel said ExxonMobil is at 122.06 on Webbull overnight. What did I say it was at? I'm not even sure what it was at. 121 right there. So, yeah, it looks like it's got something going on, ExxonMobil. So keep your eyes on that. And JTAI, yeah, we looked at that bad boy, and like I said, it looked like it's just pulling back, but I would look for a bounce right there. It obviously pulled back. RD said a lot of big tech stocks have the two times inverse as well. He has a list of most, if not all of them, I think, but it's at work in the sectors. So sweet. If you want RD, just shoot me that list. Send me a message. That would be great. I'll add them all on there. LLYX is at the Lily. LLYX. Um, no, Target for oh yeah, LLY, that's Lily, right? There you go. Yeah, that one looks really good, guys. LLYX. So yeah, send me that list, please, RD. That would be great. And like I said, we'll attack them bad boys for sure. MSTR is at 298.77 right now. It's up 10%. So there you go. Just like we were saying a second ago, we figured that. But it's always nice they're doing what we think they're gonna do, so that's always nice. Yeah, you said coin was up as well, and that was up, and it should run up in the top and get a little wild. I'm sure it will. So that's COIN and DJT. It was I think it was making that base, and it's gonna get curling back up, guys. So I think DJT is about to get cruising again. So keep your eyes on that as well, because that's moving and fun. You know what this is gonna do. This is probably gonna be getting fun. I'm not even looking at it yet. And it's just pulling back at the moment, so let me see it on mine and see when it's going to set up here, because you know it'll get fun again. Yeah, I think it's going to get start setting back up this week. It could pull back to that 519. It's at like 570, 560. So we'll see if it pulls back any there, and and then this will definitely get fun again. It ran like a maniac, and we were all over that. MTN, good old Val up to it was up $3 at 177. I'm telling you, this thing's gonna get blasted off of 180, go through 190, and keep cruising. So that is Val MTN, and it's looking good. McDonald's MCD was up $4, and this one is crawling up, guys, and looking so much better. So keep your eye on McDonald's because it's gonna get cruising there. I'd like to see it on mine, MCD. Yeah, it's gonna get moving, guys. McDonald's is back on track. Their Big Mac must be good because it's looking really good. I didn't even, they're both looking good actually, so it don't matter. But BA, Boeing, I don't know how this company's going up. I say it, but it looks like it's going to make that hard curl and go crazy. So, Boeing, we'll keep an eye on it, but it does look like it wants to get wild. And Space, Virgin Galactic, it's down 6 cents. It's at 622. It had its earnings the other day. When was that? November 6th. So that was last Wednesday. And I think it's getting to that bottom point where it's going to start bottoming out and we'll watch it to catch it on the way back up. And BABA, we'll add that to the thing. That one's pulling back there, and they do have a good ETF as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we still have to do our crazy, crazy crypto. So Coin is up 10% right now. DJT is up at 33.71, plus 561, and funds not trading yet. So thank you very much, Laptop Travel. And MSTR is at 298.77, so that's up about 10%. So there you go. And Exxon Mobil's up. Thank you, Laptop Travel, on that info. And let's look at the crypto. I'll just hop into my scan or my app real quick. Let me just see. I always put it in here and then it's always so hard to find, but I have to figure out how to make it so much easier to get the Bitcoin and get it up. It seems like the big ones I can get all the altcoins super fast on my chart, and then I have to like search around forever. I have to figure out exactly what the symbol is, write them down so I have them at my desk, and then I can just pull them up on my charts too. But I use my app because I'm used to it and it's quick. But anyway, here we go. Here we are with crypto. Bitcoin 81,700. I mean, just rolling today, guys. Getting crazy. Remember, I said it was going to get to 80? Well, it blasted through that 80. So it did that and it keeps going. Ethereum, I remember we were looking at it, was definitely in the 2000s. It's at 3,200 right now and it just cruising. Remember, I told you it was going to get through that 100 and move? It did it. Ripple's at 59. Remember, I said it was going to get ripping. It's ripping. It did push over that 60 already. Solana's at 210, guys. Remember, I was saying it was going to get over that 2 and it was going to be moving. It is. Cardano is back over 59 cents. It jumped up like 14 cents yesterday. I said it'll get over that the 50 to 100 and then get cruising. I honestly didn't think it would move that fast, but Cardano went nutty. Doge is at like 30 cents. This thing's getting crazy, guys. So Doge is hitting like all-time highs, getting wild. Sheeb is getting crazy down there. That's up like 20% today. That's got to get back to where it was in March, though. It's not quite there yet, but it will be. So Sheeb's one that's going to be running. And Bonk, let's look at it. BONK. That one's up about 15%, and that's just starting to get bonkers. So if you want another one that's about to run bonkers, hop in Bonk. And let's look at well, we did look at WIF, but again, that's up way up. And we looked at it yesterday. It's at 313. We looked at it the other day. It was in the twos, and I said it looks like it's going to cross through and get moving. And guess what? It went nutty. So there you go with crypto. It is absolutely insane, and we are just going to destroy everything. So there we are, and boom. We will definitely be cruising along, crushing everything. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. The Shanghai Stock Exchange Index, the SSEI, is SSEI Composite Index is minus 260. So that's really good for the Yang. So there we are. Let me hop in the stock twits and just see what's happening over here. That teller's already up $2 since I was just telling you it's back to 86. Um, Doge's is trending. Mara, GameStop, Elon. I bet that one gets crazy. I wonder if we can trade that. Let me look. Elon. Let me see if that's on Coinbase real quick. Elon on Coinbase. Let's see. It's on crypto.com. I don't see it on here. I don't see it on Coinbase. See, this is the thing. Like you can get it on crypto.com. I'm not a big fan of crypto.com, but it does have some other coin options. I just don't really like the setup of it, I guess. But yeah, the Elon doesn't seem to be on Coinbase. Sophie, Riot, and CRO, that's what is it? It's the not crypto.com, I think, right? CRO, something like that. I forget what the heck it is, but it's something like that. Um, yeah, I forget. I have to look it up. It doesn't even say it, but it's something like that. The coin. And then Coinbase, MSTR, and ONDO is another coin that's trending. So tons of coins trending, and everything's pretty crazy right now, guys. So just like we were saying 3 months ago, um, wait till Halloween and then wait till it gets to start lighting up around Thanksgiving and it's gonna be crazy on Christmas. And I think you guys can see what the picture of what's about to happen here. And there you go. So I'll let you guys have a great Sunday night. Hope you've had a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Laptop Travel, thanks for all you do. O'Hare's Bastard Child. Thank you for hanging out. And RD, Luis Rodriguez, Joe P, Elena, Jennifer Lee, Sherry B, Bong Chang, Game Changer, Money, Jay Kratz, DTM, QM, Lynn, Scott, Sean, everybody else that was on here. There's a ton of people. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. And let me know if you guys want to see anything for the morning. We'll run through it. We'll be back at 7 a.m. for pre-market. And I am really interested how it's going to open up because, again, looks like it's really bullish and it wants to run up. I could see it just pulling back a hair if it needed to set up. So I could see it going both ways. So that's why I'm saying I just want to see how it goes and then we'll dissect it from there. You know that. So have a great night, everybody. I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. for pre market, and I'll see you in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.